Hi, this is Gary with MacMost.com. In this episode, let's take a look at the editing tools in the new Photos app. So editing a photo is pretty straightforward, but there's a lot of hidden controls. So let's take a look at it. Let's select a photo here and I'm going to double click on it to bring it up, and then I'm going to hit the Edit button, and this takes us into photo editing mode. The first thing I want to point out is that there's this handy control over here where you can bring up the sidebar and it shows you all of the photos in the collection you're looking at. So it allows you to quickly swap between them so you can edit. Notice I'm in editing mode for both of these photos, so I can quickly edit a group of photos this way. Well, let's focus on this one right here, and we can see our editing controls here on the right. This is a picture of our new puppy, Jack, or One-Eye Jack as we call him, and we're going to go and edit this photo in all sorts of different ways. Let's start with the Enhance button here, which is just a one click, and it tries to basically make the picture better and by adjusting a whole sorts of different things. So you can see how there's the difference there, and I can click this Revert to Original button here and go back and forth and see how it's just brightening the colors up there. The next button down here is the Rotate button, and this just allows me to go 90-degree increments, and it's handy when you have a picture that somehow is in the wrong orientation. You can quickly adjust that. Now when you have made a change, either the Enhance button or the Rotate button, you click Done and it will save the photo, and the photo will appear like that from now on. However, the original is still there. So let's click the Enhance button there, click Done, and I'm out of editing mode here. But if I go to edit again, notice Revert to Original is still there. I click on that and I can go back. So it's not like when you leave editing it permanently applies the changes. It will keep the original in your photos collection or in your iCloud photo library, so it's in the cloud, and you always have that original to fall back on. So this makes it really easy to make adjustments and not worry about the fact that you may need to go back to the original at some point, especially if you're cropping a photo or doing some pretty extreme color adjustments. Now let's look at some of the other things you can do. Under Crop, we can adjust the borders of the photo, so we can get rid of some things out of the photo and it will adjust with us there. Now notice also I can adjust the rotation right here by moving this dial. So I'm just clicking and moving there. So there's a lot of different things that you can do here with the Crop tool. You can use the aspect ratio tool to actually go to a certain aspect ratio. So if you want it to be 16:9, for instance, I can do that, and you can see it will stick to 16:9 now that I've selected aspect. I can free it up again by going to Custom or Freeform here, and now I can adjust Freeform again. I can also flip the photo, and I can use Automatic to try to automatically rotate and crop a photo, which in this case isn't going to do anything for this particular photo, but it could in another photo that has maybe something where the subject is in the middle and the background is easily croppable, or something where the horizon line is visible and it could adjust the rotation to straighten the photo. So I can leave this mode here by simply jumping to another mode. I can move the cursor over here and I can see the other modes appear, and I can jump, say, to filters. And filters is pretty basic. It's just a small set of filters here. I assume companies can build extensions and you'll get more filters here, but these are the default set that come with. We'll have to see if we actually do get more in the future. You can also jump straight to adjustments, and this is where it gets really interesting because you've got lots of different adjustments here. It appears you just have three: light, color, and black and white, and you can move these dials back and forth or hit the auto button there. So I can hit the auto button for color, for light, black and white, but I actually have a lot more than that because I can use any of these little arrows here to show me some of the sub adjustments here. So I can adjust different things here in black and white, for instance, and I have controls for everything. So under light here I've got exposure, highlight, shadows, brightness, contrast, and black point. I've got lots of different things I can do. Let me go back to the original here and you can see how I can adjust some of these specifically. So it's all the adjustments you had in iPhoto, but instead of overwhelming you with tons of choices, it just starts you off with the basics here of these 3 sets and then allows you to go in to detail if you want. So you also have a retouch tool here. So this gives you this circle here where you can adjust the size of the circle and you could decide to retouch something. So you can click and drag over spots to remove them. So you can see I was able to easily remove that object there. And the larger area you use, the worse it's going to actually work, but it still does a fairly decent job. And you can also choose a source area, so I can option click here and do that, and you can see it does a better job of painting in what I want there. And if you didn't know that there was something there, you wouldn't really know by looking at the photo at a glance anyway. There is one hidden tool. It's the red eye tool. If you go to view, you can turn this on and you get the extra red eye tool down here. And then you can adjust the size and use that to get rid of red eye. Red eye is becoming rarer and rarer in photos as cameras are getting better and better at not including red eye. Now unfortunately there's no way to edit a photo in an external editor. I'm sure that's something we'll be able to do in the future, probably through the share menu here. There could be extensions added that will allow you to go and take this photo, bring it right into say Photoshop, and then bring it back in to Photos. It may be up to the third-party developers like Adobe for Photoshop or Pixelmator or whoever makes the image editing app you like to create these actions here that are in the share menu, or they may have to work with Apple to do that. But for now what you need to do is when you have the photo there, you can export the unmodified original right here, and that will give you the raw one or the original photo at full resolution. Export that as a file, put that in some folder on your desktop or on your documents folder or your pictures folder, and then open that up, edit it in Photoshop or whatever tool you're using, and then drag and drop that finished product back into the Photos app. And that's the only way to do a external edit right now.